Christmas can be a challenging time for the cook when most of us are expected to prepare food in greater quantities than we do for the rest of the year. Then there's a question of tradition and how to prevent our favourites from becoming a little too familiar. For the enthusiastic cook, Christmas gives us a chance to add a new twist to some festive flavours. I'm going to start with a good, nutritious broth, almost a meal in a bowl, to use an old-fashioned phrase. Both comforting and nourishing, this makes wonderful use of the turkey, duck or goose bones that you may well have left over. So I've started by just crisping up a little bit of streaky bacon in my pan here in olive oil. And these are cut into these little strips, which are called lardons. So let those get lovely and golden and drain them on little kitchen paper. And these will go back into the broth right at the end of the cooking, just before we're going to serve it. By the time we've put all our other bits and pieces, including kale, close to the end, this will be, I think, a meal fit for a king. Okay, now, I'm going to turn the heat down under that for a moment. I've got some red onions. And when I'm cutting these red onions, I want to cut them into little wedges. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of that off, but there's enough of the root attached to hold the onion together. So just cut in half, and then to cut a wedge, go back into the center point, and then just cut out towards the edge. So nice and carefully. Okay, that's those. Give those a little turn in the fat, just like that. And now I'm going to slice in some garlic. So it's 4 cloves of garlic, but when you cook garlic like this, it is very mild. And it'll just be a little sort of a lovely little sort of background flavor. Lovely, so they're going in. Now, very importantly, a little salt and pepper, just to sort of start to set the seasoning at the beginning of the dish. So what may have looked like quite a bit of bacon, liquid bacon fat in there, now looks as if it's exactly just the right amount. Now, a little bit of greaseproof paper or parchment, or you could use a butter wrapper for that matter. Pop it in and lid on. The rest of my ingredients then for the soup, I'm going to use some kale. And I've got a little curly kale, and it couldn't be easier to prepare. In fact, there's something kind of slightly pleasurable about lifting the leaf of kale and just sort of swishing the leaves off the stalk. Now, when it's cooked, it should be fully cooked and really soft. So to that end, I take the kale and I break it into little bite-sized pieces like that. And that just works an absolute treat. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I nearly have enough of that there all ready to go. The other thing we're going to have in the soup, and this is when it becomes almost a meal in itself, I'm going to serve some little croutons. So a bit of lovely quality bread, which I'm going to cut into slices like this. Okay, that should be enough of those. Now I'm going to grill these, and these can be ready. So that means that, you know, the last minute serving of the broth can be easy and hassle-free. And you need to have some easy and hassle-free dishes at Christmas time for sure. Okay, these are toasting away nicely. So just keep turning them. Toast them a little bit on the other side. And these will be all ready to go. Now, this little one is being shy for some reason, or it's always the way with toast. So I'll leave that there for another moment. So what I can do, I can chop a little bit of marjoram, because this is the herb that I'm going to add in at the last moment. So just pull the little leaves off the stalks and I can chop them. So it doesn't have to be chopped to dust in this instance. So that is lovely. Okay, let's have a little look and see how our onions are doing. So we've had our tight fitting lid and our greaseproof paper keeping a steam in. See the way the steam has kept inside? That's really, really important. And these are starting to look really nice. So just a little stir. Lovely. Now we're ready to add in our stock. So this is your stock from your turkey. Ooh, lovely. Sort of volcanic moment there in the broth pot. Then give a little stir just to loosen up, just in case any of the onions have become a little too acquainted with the bottom of the saucepan. So lid back on. So that's lovely. So another few minutes until the onions soften, then we're ready to put everything together.